Intermediate vocabulary lesson number 9 is called Doggone Wild. The optimum dog. Optimum is a word that means ideal, perfect, or exactly what you want. The optimum dog is one that is physically good-looking, well-behaved, clean, and playful. The behavior of the dog is probably most important. Dogs that approach people and jump on them are not optimum. A dog that can slowly walk up to strangers to say hello is an excellent dog. One that doesn't bark at children nor chases cars is also a good choice. A good-looking dog will be more fun for people to look at, whereas an ugly dog will scare people away. Puppies are optimal because they stay safe and cute. Optimal, optimum is the same word that can be used interchangeably. So you can always change these words. So we have basically the perfect dog, or the dog that you want, is one that is physically good looking. So it's a beautiful dog, well behaved, so it acts nice towards other people and other dogs, clean and playful. And you don't want one that barks at children or one that chases cars. Now my neighbor had 4 dogs, and they would chase cars every day, and every time you run by or walk by, the 4 dogs would run out and chase you, and she would start screaming at the dogs, and it's like, oh jeez. Like, why don't you just put up a fence or something? But anyway, a good-looking dog is more fun for people to look at. So we have 3 words here: physically, approach, strangers. The first one is physically. So you can say physical. Let me try to do this. Physical or physically, which is kind of the same thing, kind of like an adjective. So relating to energy, matter, or the body. It's basically anything physically is not the mind, thoughts, or ideas. So for example, the building is physically impossible to climb because it's too slippery. Physically, my girlfriend is perfect. Mentally, she's crazy. The hike up the mountain was too physical for Teacher Phil, so he rode his bike. That's right. I don't really, well, sometimes I hike. Usually I go biking though. Physical education is a good way to be physically active. Well, here we said a dog that's physically good looking. So if its body is good looking, yeah. Approach is a verb. It means to become close to. So like if I was here and I approach this mountain, that means I am going closer to the mountain if I approach it. The truck approached the stop sign but didn't stop. The police stopped it. The approaching tiger is not scary because I have a box of Frosted Flakes for it. They're great! The man approached the restaurant, entered, and used the bathroom. He left without buying anything. Yeah, way to get your value for your money, man. If you are approaching a steep cliff like this, don't drive off of it. So don't drive off it. Here we said dogs that approach people and jump on them are not optimum. So if the dog goes up to people and gets closer but then jumps on them, we do not want that. Stranger is a person unknown to you. Don't talk to scary-looking strangers because they may kidnap you. Kidnap is like when they steal you and then they phone your relatives and ask for money. If you allow strangers to sleep in your house, they may steal your stuff. A group of strangers was seen walking on Jim's land, but they were just lost. Jim showed them the trail and they gave him a box of apples for helping them. If a stranger knocks on your door looking like this, you better freak out. What is freak out? Well, do I explain it here? Yeah, see, I explained freak out in a little bit. And I have no description. Right. Freak out, you know what freak out means? It's a slang term that means to explode with anger and basically panic. So, let's go back. If a stranger knocks on your door looking like this, you better freak out, man. Better get angry and panic. Call the police. Sometimes your dog can have a change in behavior. Let's read the paragraph. Dogs that start out good can change into bad dogs. These sudden changes have no warning. One day the dog will do something bad. For instance, it may bite or growl at a pedestrian. It's a good idea to keep the dog on a leash at all times when in public. Otherwise, the animal may freak out one day and attack someone. Always make sure the dog is on a short enough leash to have control over it. If a dog is allowed to wander all over the place, it can get into trouble. A dog gone wild is a bad situation for you. Keeping your dog away from conflict will help them turning what will help
Grammar fail.
Keeping your dog away from conflict will help prevent it from turning into a bad dog. That is the corrected version. Now, 3 words: sudden, pedestrian, freak out. The first word is sudden. Sudden is an adjective. It means something that happens instantly, unexpected. The sudden boom was caused by the thunderstorm. Bob suddenly lost his job. He found another one the next day. Whoa! The next day. Not next J, because J is not even a word. Sudden bumps in the road can cause cars to lose control and crash. If you suddenly see a problem, you must erase it at once. So here we said these sudden changes. For example, the dog changes from good to bad. That's a sudden change. Now, we had pedestrian is a noun. People walking on the road. These people are pedestrians. 4 pedestrians were killed in the car accident Friday morning. The pedestrian was hitchhiking and got a ride from a group of musicians. If you are a pedestrian, look both ways before running across the street. Pedestrians are a hazard while driving, so watch out for them. Now here we said, for instance, it may bite or growl at a pedestrian. So if this, such a nice looking dog, but let's say it turned bad one day and it started growling at these people, that would be a problem for these pedestrians. Freak out is a slang expression. It means to explode with anger and panic. For example, Mike saw the price of a hamburger rose to $1.50. He freaked out and started yelling at the McDonald's employees. If you lose your wallet, freak out at once because all your information is lost. Freaking out is not going to stop a fire in your house. Lots of carbon dioxide, or CO2, and water will help put out the flames. If you start freaking out, try to calm down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Here we said, the dog may just freak out one day and attack someone. So here we have fix the dog. Fix the dog. The term fixing a dog can mean 2 things. Number 1, have the dog's reproductive ability removed, or number 2, make the dog good. Let's talk about item number 2. A dog that turns wild must be dealt with. You cannot have a dangerous, potentially crazy animal running around attacking people. There are a few options to choose. Number 1, eat the dog. Number 2, have it killed and not eat it. Number 3, have it euthanized. Euthanized means killed, stuffed, and put on your kitchen table as decoration. Option number 1 will save you money. Option 2 will be less disgusting, and option 3 is whack. Whack is a slang term to mean strange and doesn't make any logical sense. Example, this whack house has 3 doors side by side. Why is there 3 doors? That's whack. That is whack. What is this whack green door and this whack orange door and this whack red door? Everything's whack with this door. That's slang. So don't write this in your reports or your homework. Although if you want to be funny, maybe you could put that. So, only 2 words, dealt and potentially. Dealt is the past. It's a verb. It means to deal with something in the past, to solve a problem. The machine was broken, but Jennifer dealt with it. She threw it out and bought one. Maybe I should just say, bought a new one. I was going to save space, but really I don't have to. Victor dealt with his infestation by spraying his house with poison. Infestation is when you have a large amount of bugs or mice or anything in your house that you don't want. Lawsuits must be dealt with, otherwise the judge will award the other person a win. So if you get sued, you have to deal with it. Otherwise, the judge will say, hey, you lose, the other person wins. The food shortage was dealt with by the farmers. Potentially is an adjective. It means maybe will happen. The oil shortage will potentially cause people not to drive. Ben ate too much food and he will potentially be sick. The potentially dangerous bears were captured and moved to the forest. If you see a potentially profitable business opportunity, you can make money. Argument. Have a dog. Having a dog is a good idea, despite the risks of the animal freaking out one day and attacking someone. There is only a small chance that the dog will attack a person if it is on a leash. Strangers aren't your friends, so they don't matter much anyway. If you keep the dog close to you, it will not likely attack anyone physically. It will probably only bark. A dog is an excellent companion that offers great friendship. Dogs start out as cute puppies that can be very entertaining. As they approach the age of 2, they get bigger. This size is great for playing frisbee or going for a walk. As well, the big dogs can be ridden by small children. Instead of buying a horse for your daughters, it's much cheaper to get a big dog. Horses require lots of space, fences, food, medical care, time, and money. Overall, dogs are a great investment and are worth the risk of doggone wild. Let's do the second argument. Don't get a dog, get a llama. Dogs are physically weak and can be potentially dangerous. They cannot be ridden, even by children, so there is only one solution. Get a llama. Llamas are not emotionally needy. They can work just like horses, but unlike a horse, llamas are cool. Llamas like to spit, which is gross. They also eat more than a dog. These 2 problems can be dealt with by living in a rural area with lots of land. No problem. Llamas don't freak out unless a big bear is trying to attack them. If a bear attacks a llama, suddenly the llama will use its kung fu abilities to smack the bear to the ground. Everyone likes llamas. Pedestrians will give much more attention to a llama as compared to a dog. Everyone has dogs, so who cares? Number 1. What is the optimum dog like? Number 2. What dangers happen if a dog freaks out? Number 3. Think of a problem you had and how you dealt with it. Number 4. What arguments support having a dog? Number 5. What arguments support having a llama instead of a dog? Question number 1. What is the optimum dog like? The optimum dog is one that is physically good-looking, well-behaved, clean, and playful. A puppy is most optimal, but since all puppies get bigger with age, A well-behaved adult dog is good too. Question 2. What dangers happen if a dog freaks out? If a dog freaks out, it is possible that it can attack a pedestrian. As well, it can bark at people. These two risks can be reduced if the dog is kept on a leash and is not around conflict. Number 3. Think of a problem you had and how you dealt with it. A long time ago, I had a girlfriend, which is always a problem, so I moved to the tropics and lived on the beach for 3 years. Good solution, good solution. Number 4. What arguments support having a dog? Having a dog is good because dogs are fun. You can play frisbee with a dog. As well, dogs that are kept away from conflict and on a leash are less likely to attack people. They can possibly be ridden by small children. Dogs are much cheaper than horses. Number 5. What arguments support having a llama instead of a dog? A llama is much better than a dog because it won't likely attack people. The llama requires less emotional attention. Llamas can be ridden, whereas dogs can't really hold up a person.